right, good Friday morning. Today is Friday, June 16, 2023. This is your Friday safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department here at Prime. The safety department is located in our Z building, ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillars. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop by. We don't ever promise that we have all the answers, but it's enough talented trucking individuals in the building that we can get you the information you need. We do this Friday safety meeting every single Friday morning, so 52 Fridays a year. We are simulcasting live from Springfield, Missouri. We are also live in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, Utah. But also we are live across the socials. You know, we're live on Facebook right now. We're live on YouTube, and of course live on LinkedIn. So welcome to all of our outsiders that are tuning in. Tons of folks are watching, Prime drivers, other people's drivers, customers, lawyers, insurance companies, anybody that wants to tune in to what we have to say during our Friday safety meetings. It's available for the world to see. We're 100% transparent in what we have. We think that we're the best trucking company out in the industry. Now, that doesn't mean we're perfect. We do make mistakes, but that's one of the reasons we have this meeting here this morning, so that we can come up and, you know, talk about some things that we need to improve on and move on from there. But first, I want to say a couple things. If you haven't ordered breakfast first, breakfast is free. So, and this is all three of our locations. Jump in line, order you some breakfast. John Blanchett and his crew at all three locations work extremely hard to feed a whole bunch of hungry truckers. So let's give them a round of applause this morning at all of our locations. Good deal, good deal. So let's see who we got at our different locations this morning. Let's go east first. Pittston, Pennsylvania. Looks like we had a fantastic crowd. Good morning, Rick. How you doing?
Man, these guys are excited. They're doing a wave. You got one guy down in front doing a moonwalk.
All right, fantastic. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing great. It's nice to see you, Dennis. It's been a while since you have been at the helm.
I know they don't let me have the microphone anymore, and they strategically plan things where I'm not here. You know, I tricked them this time. Got the microphone. Here we are.
Hey, I get it. I get it. I really do. And you know, I had a great week this week. A great bunch of orientation guys and gals, PSDs, TNTs. And we had a bunch of rehires this week, too. That's fantastic. People coming back.
Well, good deal. Sometimes we feel like the grass is greener somewhere else. We find out maybe that's not exactly the truth. You know, sometimes the beast you know and the one you don't know are extremely different. So we'll take a moment here in just a second to welcome those folks back. But, of course, Rick, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns in Pittston, Pennsylvania, don't hesitate to step to the mic.
Hey, we appreciate you, and you know, family always comes back to family.
All right, appreciate you. Let's go west. I think we got my old buddy Tyler Patrick this morning. Good morning. You're not Tyler Patrick.
Surprise. Nope. Tyler's on next week.
Tyler's on next week. See, I guess this is what happens. You know, reading is fundamental, right?
You got to read those emails.
That's right. That's right. So we got Aaron Ward with us this morning. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning.
What you got going on in Salt Lake City?
We had a good week out here this week. We had a big orientation group. A lot of PSDs coming through on their journey to get their CDL, and we got that started. Weather's been great out here. It's been more like Seattle than it has Salt Lake. Cool and a little rainy, but we'll take it. And everything's going great.
Well, fantastic. Everything looks to be going great. You got one little friend there on your left. I don't think he was the one making all of that noise. One of these days, we're going to get out to Salt Lake City on a Friday morning and really figure out if that noise is being pumped in or not.
We just need to show you the other camera angle. There's all kinds of people in here.
Mm-hmm. That's
We've heard that before.
We've heard that before. So, well, good deal. Of course, Aaron, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Thanks.
All right, right back here, Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, folks. How you guys doing this morning? somewhat excited crowd. I think we've got a really good crowd in here today, you know, and I see as we went to each of the locations, we saw a ton of neon vests. We haven't seen a ton of those lately, but you know, it's good to see. That means we've got a few new folks in the building. So I'm going to take the opportunity to say, if you're new to Prime, A seat, B seat, D seat, no seat, not sure what seat you are, you know, this is your first week. If you would, at all three of our locations, stand up and give us an opportunity to welcome you to the family. Thank you for choosing Prime. We know that you folks are the cream of the crop. We know this because we vetted you hard. You know, here lately, we have been extremely critical of folks that we bring in, both new hires, folks with CDLs, as well as rehires. Rick talked about some rehires that are coming back. You know, we've had some folks that have left and said, hey, I think that I can do better or be in a better situation someplace else, and tried to come back. And when we reviewed our experience with them and their record, we said, hey, you know, maybe this isn't the right time for you to come back to Prime. We truly feel like that this is a destination company. We feel like drivers will spend maybe an entire career trying to clean up their MVRs and clean up their records just to have the opportunity to work here at Prime. So you folks that are starting your career here with us, thank you. We appreciate you. And if there's ever a problem, reach out to somebody so we can fix it. So I'm not standing here by myself this morning. I've got Dave White here in the safety department. I think I took the first 10 minutes all by myself.
Man. You're doing good, man. You're on a roll. It's been a while since you had a mic. So.
It's been a while. You guys don't let me get up here anymore.
And you know what? I had the same mistake you did. I had Tyler down too for today. So
you're the one that sent the email that confused me.
I think it's we work too close together. I think that's what it is.
It's contagious. That's what it is. Exactly. It's contagious.
So, but anyway, no, welcome to all of our drivers out there, new ones especially. Want to give a big shout out to all those out there on the road hauling freight for us right now. Hopefully you're parked if you're watching this. Yeah, big shout out to them because they're doing the hard work. They're paying our bills out there. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what this company's built on. You know, you got to pick up on time, deliver on time, and do it safely at the end of the day. That's what we ask of you. So it's important to service our customers, but ultimately safety is number one here. And let's remember that. So if you get tired, you get groggy, you get, you're irritable, which happens over a period of time. I know that. Hey, take a break, pull over, get parked safely, get a hold of your fleet manager if you need to talk to them. There's always help within this organization. That's what we're here for, us in-house folks. You're not going to see Dennis or I delivering any freight on time, but we're here to support you. Anything we can do, your fleet managers, payroll, road assist. And importantly, get to know those people really well as well. You know, the road assist people, the fleet managers, your payroll person. Pretty important person to know is your payroll person. They're the ones that pay you. So, but get to know them, and hey, at least you have a contact there. You can call them if you ever have any questions. So that's what we're here for. But Dennis, we do a pretty darn good job. We run about 15 million miles a week. So. And every once in a while we have a couple accidents here or there that's probably not real good, but that's a lot of miles to be covering. Our fleet, we do it very safely, week in, week out, and very proud of that. So
excellent work, excellent work. In particular, this weekend is a very special weekend. You guys know it's a holiday weekend. What holiday we got? Father's Day. So we run about 15% female drivers. So of course they're not fathers, and we appreciate our female drivers. So that other demographic, a large portion of those folks are men and family men with children, whether they're newborn infants to adults riding in the truck with you being trained. So happy Father's Day out there. So let's give those folks that are fathers a round of applause. Thank you for what you do. I read something here in an industry journal not too long ago that talked about, and it insinuated that maybe, folks that travel a lot for a living, i.e. truck drivers, are quote unquote absent fathers. All right. And I don't believe that one bit, because if we have a mom or a dad that's deployed in the military defending our country, and we celebrate those folks too, We call them heroes. Truck drivers that are deployed, providing for their families, providing for our families, because you put the products that we use on the shelves every single day. You guys are heroes too. So give yourselves a round of applause. Let's talk a little bit about safety, Dave. What you got?
All right. So this week's inspections, we had 118 inspections. 85 of those were clean, so 72% clean rate. Good job. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, above 70. That's awesome. One thing, we did have one inspection. It's something we haven't talked about in a while. Is an unauthorized passenger. So we had a driver pull up onto a scale, got inspected. Officer said, "Hey, do you have a passenger on board?" And they did. And I said, let's see that passenger permit. So the officer ended up calling into Prime here, called in our safety department, and the fleet manager was not aware that there was somebody on that truck. So just a reminder, let's make sure if you have any passengers on your truck, go through your fleet manager, you get a passenger permit for them. They will authorize it, yes or no, just depends on the situation. But we need to have a passenger permit for anybody that's on your truck that's not a Prime associate. So if you're teaming out there, you're fine. You don't need a passenger permit because you got 2 Prime associates running down the road. But if you got a family member or a friend you want to take, go through your fleet manager, get that authorization. Let's get that taken care of. Do it the right way. Vast majority of the time, Dennis, we don't have any problems with this, but this was one that kind of crept up, and we haven't talked about it in a while. I thought it was pretty important. But a few other inspections, we got a couple seat belts not worn properly, arm over the strap. So, remember that seat belt's for your protection. That could save your life in a crash. So not only that, it's the law. You got to wear it. And many states now are issuing tickets for not wearing it properly too. So you don't want to pay state money out of your hard-earned money for a seatbelt ticket. That's pretty, it just doesn't make sense. So just wear it properly, wear it right, and always be secure to make sure your passenger, anybody in your truck, your co-driver, whatever it may be, is also secured as well. Because if you have to brake that truck, you don't want people moving across in your sight or inside that truck because they can get hurt pretty easily. So everybody needs to be secured when you're running down the road. But that's it. That's overall, we did a pretty good job.
We did a really good job, and really the first 2 quarters of the year so far, our accident numbers are looking fantastic.
They are. Yeah.
We don't ever want to rest on our laurels. We want to make sure we point out some missteps and learn from them. We've got a few situations this week that really hit home, and it gave me the idea to kind of, especially with this weekend being Father's Day weekend. It's another weekend. A holiday this weekend too, but I'll talk about that here later. But it just spoke to me a little bit. I took a road trip on vacation 2 weeks ago, and I tallied about 4 different times that I physically saw, a truck driver with something in their hand, and I wasn't close enough to tell if it was a cell phone, a GPS, or whatever it was. But whatever it is a handheld device. And of course, I don't need to tell a room full of truck drivers that having a handheld device in your hand while driving down the road is illegal. I didn't say texting or calling or watching. I said simply having it in your hand is against regulations. And if you get caught, you will be written up for it. So, but that's the easy part. We can live with that. There's some other things that could potentially happen when you have these distractions in the cab. And I'm gonna have us watch a video. It's a long video. It's about 10 minutes long, but it's the story of a driver that made that mistake. That here's the reality that I think all of us have done. I think if we try to put our hands down and say, I've never done that, I think we wouldn't be being honest with ourselves. I've done it. And I think everybody that has a cell phone or has something in their car or truck, they've done it too. But what we've got to do is we've got to bring awareness to this situation and coach ourselves, police ourselves to make sure that we are not the ones doing it, so that this situation doesn't happen to another family and prayerfully doesn't happen to us. This is going to be a story about a truck driver that made that mistake. And unfortunately, that mistake caused a family to not have their father on Father's Day. What a tragic situation. And that's an emotional video. That's why I said we're going to watch the whole 10 minutes. We're going to watch the whole thing. If you look around the room, there's some tears in here. Some big tough guys that maybe had some allergies this morning that don't want to admit how emotional a situation that can potentially be. The reason it's so emotional because we know that a lot of us have been guilty of that. That could have been me. That could have been you. The thing that stuck out most to me about that video is that he said, it doesn't matter if you wear a suit or tie. Doesn't matter if you're on the driver advisory board. It doesn't matter if you're the TCA Professional Driver of the Year. Doesn't matter if you have 2, 3, 4 million miles. The second you introduce that into your behavior, all bets are off. Oh, it won't happen to me, or it doesn't happen here. Show me the picture, Richard. That guy in that video wasn't a prime driver, but this picture that you're looking at is. She didn't have it in her hand. She had it dead in front of her face. That 8 seconds that driver took his eyes off to check on a house on Zillow, and I look at Zillow nonstop, that his girlfriend sent, changed everybody's life in that situation. Dennis, why does Prime make these tough decisions that are sometimes uncomfortable for drivers? Why do we do these things? Our drivers don't like that. Because we have to save lives. That's why we do it. And it's not easy, it's not comfortable. But we have to do what's necessary to save lives. I won't dwell on it. For all our fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Think about Mr. Busick who and Mr. Busick's family that doesn't get to go home and celebrate this special weekend with his family. Don't let that be you. And I'm not asking anybody to volunteer and tell me this is what you do, but I do want you to take an honest inventory of what you do. And if we do decide to make some changes where we inspect what we expect, go back to this video and watch it again. This is why we do what we do. Thank you for watching that video. I know that was tough, but we're going to get it a little bit more upbeat as we move on to our next speaker. So what do we got next, Dave?
All right, driver health and wellness. We have Colby and Rachel. I know they're just looking to come up here after this.
Hey, thanks for having
Thanks.
us. Either way, no, you guys are right. That I mean, yeah, I'm one with allergies this morning for sure. Yeah, that says a lot, and I think just if I can take a second, just like. I think what it really takes is the prioritization in your time, right? Prioritizing what you're doing at that moment. What takes the priority, and if it's your health and your safety, it's more important than other things that's happening in that moment. So I'll quickly speed up to what we're going to talk about. Is the same thing as prioritizing your health and your fitness and your mental health. Your sleep, those things, which is our department is a big part of. So not again keep going back to that, but it is about you taking priority of certain things in your life. And that's what we're here to do. That's what our department is here. Rachel's our dietitian. Hi, Rachel.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
But really it is. And so we want to make sure, we're a resource for you, whether it be talking about diet, talk about exercise, talk about programs we have going on. You can get in touch with us many ways. This morning, we do want to announce something pretty fun. Rachel, you want to talk about it for a second?
Yeah, so we have a competition going on between drivers and in-house. So this is going to be
so drivers versus in-house. So your fleet manager versus your driver.
Yes. So yeah, this is all about just getting up and moving. It's not about doing anything crazy. It's just trying to walk. So it's called the Summer Stride Challenge. And you can log your miles on our website. We will send out a link with the where you can track your miles. You just enter in your driver code and you enter in your miles. If you have a picture of a tracking app or maybe your watch that tracks your miles, great, you can upload that. But yeah, it's just a way to kind of put in what you're walking, get you guys moving in a fun way.
Yeah, you can see there. So it's the miles we're reaching, the milestone is 6,891 miles. So that is actually every mile from all of our locations. If you were to literally walk or drive, in this case, we're going to walk, you can see it right there. All of Prime's locations, starting in Southern California, down Oregon, going through Salt Lake, down to Texas, through Springfield, up into Illinois, Michigan, all the way over to Pittston, down to Florida, through in Savannah. So that is literally every mile between. So that tells you the impact that Prime has, because look how miles there are between there. But really that just kind of shows like that's Prime, right? The impact we're going to make. So I encourage you guys and challenge you to get out there and walk. I mean, if you really think about it, you guys are at an advantage. If every single driver here walks 1 mile today, that number's gone right there. You kind of tackled it in one day. So I challenge you to do that. I hope it's fun. It's supposed to be, you know, something neat. We're going to try to do it every year. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, so our summer stride, you guys will be on our, like Rachel said, on the website. You can find either one of those tabs, in-house or driver. Click on it. I guess the most fun part is not a single in-house person knew about this, so they're probably going to be like, "What are you doing?" So, but anyways, I look forward to it. And if you know, guys, now get a hold of us. Our website's upstairs here. You can always, in all three terminals, we have Johanna's here in Springfield, Matt in Salt Lake, or you have Maria in Pittston. So, and then Rachel and myself. So, and I see Dennis is ready to walk. He's got his hands in the walking position. So, all right, that's all I got. If you guys have questions, we'll be down here. So,
Thank you, guys.
Good go, buddy. Good job. You ready to walk, Dennis?
I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. So if it was an eating competition, I might have a chance.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you know, so we're gonna shift gears. You know, that video took a lot of time, so we're gonna make sure we keep it rolling. We got a group of folks here that really, a lot of times, at all of our terminals are the first faces that you see, you know, when you come through. And it's important that those guys and ladies provide you some, you know, Chick-fil-A like customer service when they come in, you know, no matter what the reason you come in, you're stopping by to say hi, coming through, you know, to go to the shop. They're going to be the first folks you see. So I'm going to ask Chris Ewing from our driver lineup department to come in and talk a little bit about what you guys do and some of the upcoming things you got going on.
Morning, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, you guys are our biggest tool for success out there. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, being proactive and communication with lineup while you're here, especially on the yard. If you come in and you get a load that is picking up the next day, perhaps we assign like an empty trailer. If we can be proactive, it'll be helpful. Let's get the washout done right away while we can. I know sometimes you run into issues, you know, with logging, things or like that. If you only got, you know, 9 hours before your pickup or something, I understand there's certain situations, but in an instance where you can be a little more proactive, getting that washout ahead of time, you know, it should be already empty, but get that pre-trip done, run the reefer for, you know, a few minutes and then hit that pre-trip and let it run through there, make sure everything's going good. You know, just do a visual inspection of the trailer itself. It's done on inbound, but you're our biggest tool. Sometimes, you know, we're not perfect. We need those extra eyes, okay? And communicate that to us. The other thing is when you come in and you stop in here and you've got a load and you're, hey, I'm going to stop and grab some of that good food at the grill here and grab a shower and I'm going to hit the road again. When you come in and your trailer gets written up for some work, what happens is that inspector runs that through a program called Decisive, okay? And that creates a work order. And then lineup goes in and we figure out when that trailer has to leave to make on-time delivery. So the way the shop works is they work loaded trailers. When they're done and they get caught up on those loadeds, that's when they work our empties, okay? So we can't just put every loaded trailer in right away. They have to work empties or we can't pick things up as well. If you come in, so when we set that critical time for the shop to have that trailer to be ready, we're looking at where it's got to go. If you're a solo, if you're a team, all kinds of things. Where we kind of need your help is if you come in and we go, hey, that thing delivers at 8 a.m. tomorrow, 347 miles away. It needs to be fixed by 11 p.m. for that driver to have time to hook up to it, get to receiver. here's what we don't know. Some drivers, you know, they can roll with the punches pretty good. Others, hey, I don't drive. I can't drive at night. We need that communication from you. You're under that load. It's your load. Communicate to us what you need as well. And we'll see what we can do, what the best option is at that point. You know, do we repower that, get you another load? Is the shop backed up? Can I put a little pressure on them to get something fixed ahead of time? So if you can we need that to keep having good service like you guys are already providing. That's critical. Empty trailers going to meet shippers out of here. And I think it's probably safe to say that when you're in Colorado and you're getting a load to pick up out of Dodge City, Kansas, those shippers want those trailers. No, even if your pickup time's the next day, if we can get those trailers in there, and I see it every week, we'll have shippers call and they say, hey, this other carrier, they fell back on this. Well, yeah, we can load it up, you know. So when it's to everyone's advantage. So if you got a meat load and you got a next day pickup, if you can go get that trailer in there, drop it off, go find something to do locally until your load's ready. And I think that flows right along with when you get that free time to save it. So I think I got a couple questions. We'll wrap this up real quick. I appreciate you.
Wash bay for washouts. How far along are we on that?
We've gotten with them. We had noticed that a lot of times we only had one or two bays open over. They're trying to keep things. Decided to go away from that because as we kind of kept the lanes moving a little bit quicker. We haven't noticed the, you know, people getting piled up.
Couple of those where you've done that to us and not informed us. We go to pick up the trailer and we find out they haven't even worked on it yet and we can't. And I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but this is a time of the year where these orange cones spring up out of the darn ground. And that slows us down. We've had 2 loads where we were almost late to it because you guys had it calculated to the minute. And that's not enough cushion. We need to have time to be able to get there. I'm not saying I need to be there 24 hours. I do say I need to be there 24 hours early, but 6 minutes early also is bad.
Right, I agree. I
Go to a
I like to
Walmart.
see everyone get to their customer. I mean, at least an hour early so you can get staged up in their parking and get to that check-in window on time.
Okay, well, we ain't done. You got one more coming.
They're, you know, sometimes the criticals are a little tight. I've seen them myself. I'll go, oh, that's a little tight there. You know, and that's something we continue to work on is just try to make those. Like I said, if you have a trailer person that's in here, you come and ask us, hey, what's that critical time? Where's that set at, you know? Yeah, we'll look at the situation for sure. We definitely appreciate everyone's feedback and we want, like I said, service is king right now. We can't do enough to be on time right now. So, you know, if you see an issue, if you see something, say something, you know, and pretty much every aspect. So,
okay, so here's my question. Do you always know when a driver's bringing a load in?
we should. So the way the route in screen, so, you know, my sales area here, we've got our sales screen where we're picking up local freight with empties. And we also have a route in screen where every time Springfield, Missouri hits your route line, my screen. So determine if that's a stop in the middle heading to Oklahoma. stop is Springfield, and then we'll status that to come.
I don't, we're,
I'm gonna jump off because we have a long thing today. You know, I had a deal, an exceptionally long break, and it changed that load from needing a solo to now needing a team, which is, it's kind of a nightmare for us. We never want to take a solo load and turn it into a team. You short team, you know, I can 4 to 15 teams a day available to me. And over right now with no teams to load that will be good, but we're gonna make sure. Long story short here, and there, issues along the way, and he just wasn't able to know your life where you just can't break and good enough. It's what we need to make on-time service a tool for success and things. So just communicate with us, and we'll take it from there and do what we can and keep you guys.
He'll be hanging out here on the side. You know, we stole Chris's wife, Stephanie, for the safety department. Him and his wife teamed up as a very talented team here for many years. You know, both are million-mile drivers, so we're happy to have them in both driver lineup in the safety department.
Chris is 2 million miles.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I know.
Excuse
So,
me.
yeah,
Chris is 2 million.
so he's got a little experience underneath his belt.
Get it
Stephanie's
right.
close to 2.
Get it right.
But we got her off the road probably a little too soon, but hey, we're glad to have her. That's
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect timing. So, you know, hey, we want to keep it rolling. We're going to have Kevin Bergman, our director of maintenance, going to come up and give us just a few minutes.
I'll make it quick. Very quick, quicker than him. So, you know, I don't have allergies, and I watched that video, and I just, you know, it's amazing. I'm thinking about, and by the way, Robert, I'm taking next week off. I'm leaving today. I didn't maybe tell you that, but I am driving. And the last time I drove to Florida, I had one of those incidents. I look at my rearview mirror, and that guy had no idea. It was a passenger vehicle. My kids were in the 3rd row, and it still haunts me today. He was on his phone. That's what he was doing. He slammed on the brakes, went around me. So thanks for showing that video today. I know I'm going to do a better job when I drive today. So thank you very much. I wanted to talk about some of our shop capacity, where we're growing. We're growing in all departments. Since January 1st of 2022, we've grown 179 technicians. That's for tractor, trailer, rebuild, our plazas. We've been in growth mode and continue to be in growth mode. But specifically what I want to talk about is we continue to hear people come into our Manuka terminal that have gotten the messages, and maybe they might be overwhelming to some of you, I get it, but say, I didn't even know this place was here. So I want to come up and talk about our Manuka, Illinois facility. It's open. It's now open 24/7, 7 days a week. Trailer, truck, all APUs, they have appointments, right? One thing I did want to throw out is we've got a lot of people wanting solar panels on their trucks. That is the terminal. You can get solar panels installed on your trucks. Guys, those solar panels will cut down on your APU runtime on average, depending on different scenarios, by about 20%. That's a lot of fuel, a lot of less maintenance, a lot less runtime, so you can sleep better. So just want to make sure everyone knew about our Manuka, Illinois facility and what it can do. Lots of parking, 187 trailers parking spots. Really nice facility that Robert has built for us. Just want to give everyone an update on that and our shop growth. So any questions? Man, we have appointments at every location for trucks. With our growth, you know, during COVID, we've been out a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks out in Springfield. We have appointments for tomorrow now with our growth. So we're excited to tell you guys that.
All right.
I made it quick, Dennis.
Thank you so much.
Dennis, you got to like his shoes, man. Look at those. He's got like safety shoes on.
They not all that.
I know they're not Nike, so they don't meet your standard. Or Hey Dudes this morning.
They ain't all that. Hey, so, you know, we're going to bring the smartest man in the accounting department up, you know, and, you know, we fight with the kind of, sometimes safety, you know, dukes it out with those folks that are right next to us in accounting. But, this guy, I think, is one of the smartest people we got here. He's very popular. Everybody loves to hear when he comes up. Every once in a while when I come up, I get booed. When he comes up, man, everybody's celebrating. So this is Sam Messick, our fuel manager, here to give us some information.
Thank you very much. Oh, man. Dennis, you way overhyped me, dude. I was looking around for Daryl or somebody whenever he's like the smartest guy in the accounting department. But hey, just wanted to give everybody a quick update. One, I wanted to thank you very much and kind of pass along some thanks from, we just rolled out our new fuel bids here within the last week and a half. And the folks over at Love's couldn't be more thankful and more pleased with how quickly you all have moved volume to them. We were telling them for 2 years that our operators want Love's, step up to the plate, give us the kind of deals that our fleet deserves, and we promise you they'll reward you with the business. And you all have stepped up and done that. So we've moved volume like you wouldn't believe to Love's, and that's a great thing for the partnership. Just as we come up, you probably saw in the message that we sent out about the fuel deals that the rewards program with Love's, as far as the diamond status versus platinum status that we're on today, will go live on July 1st. Look for an email or an app message from me today about some steps that you'll need to make sure that you do to be ready for that diamond status on July 1st. But it's important you get an extra point a gallon with that diamond status. One other thing that I wanted to mention is Pilot is still going to honor the 500 gallon threshold for shower power. So, most of the time you have to get 1,000 gallons at Pilot locations every month to get free showers for the following month. They're keeping it at 500 gallons for the fleet. So we had a few questions about that. And last thing I'll say is, I hope all of you have all of the rewards programs for these vendors. TA Petro, Love's, Pilot, and even some of the independents right out in our fuel network. If you're not taking advantage of those points programs and those reward programs, you're easily leaving on the table a couple $1,000s a year worth of value, right? Tax-free value to you as an operator. So I highly encourage you, make sure you've got all of those rewards programs set up with all the fuel vendors. Make sure you're taking advantage of them. But look on the app today for some important information about the Love's promotion, please, to make sure you're ready when that goes live. Any questions for me? Otherwise, we'll keep it rolling. Well, thank you all very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam, for giving us that information. This is usually the point of the meeting. We bring up Steve Wucky up. He's not here. Hopefully he's out visiting a customer or doing something to get us more freight, Dave.
We do have a little bit of housekeeping to do, though.
Absolutely.
Don't forget about
Got
that.
a little bit of housekeeping. I even got my phone in my hand.
There you
ready to
go.
go. Somebody just sent me a text message. Hold on.
What's it say?
I'm just
You
trying.
got to read it.
You want me to read it for real?
No, I really don't.
It says, great meeting, great video. This is not a Prime associate. These folks are watching. These folks are watching. So, with that being said, we've got our experts over here on my right, Richard and Brienne. If you have any questions, technology related, especially as it pertains to the Prime mobile app, of course, we don't want you to use that driving down the road. But I do think it is one of the most useful tools that we have here for our driver success here at Prime. You can view safety videos, you can view maintenance videos, you can scan your trip, you can contact your fleet manager, you can, I could rattle off about 1,000 things you can do using the Prime mobile app, and it's just getting better. Those folks are always taking your feedback, looking for things they can do to make that better. So if you have any questions after the meeting, step on over here to my right, and they'll be glad to help you out.
This week, the ever popular hazmat recertification test.
Hazmat recertification email went out, so
a
bunch of fleet managers and drivers start panicking. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Even if you don't have, and this is specifically for our folks in the reefer and tanker divisions, if you don't have a hazmat endorsement, that's fine. We're not forcing you to get it, but on a biannual basis, we do need you to complete the hazmat recertification, because if you're carrying a load that has 800 pounds of hazardous material, you do not need an endorsement to carry that load, but we still want you to be educated on what to do if there's a problem. So that is, again, something you can complete over the Prime mobile app. If you're old school like Dave and not sure how to open the Prime mobile app and you still want to use the paper version, just get with your fleet manager and they can get that information over to you. So You know, a couple other housekeeping notes. You know, I mentioned, you know, today is Monday is a federal holiday. Anybody know what federal holiday Monday? Juneteenth. So a new as of last year, you know, June 19th, you know, I think that's the third Monday in June is celebrated as Independence Day or National Independence Day for folks that are African descendants of slaves. So happy Juneteenth to everybody here. And I hope everybody has a fantastic and safe weekend. You know, I'm gonna ask a special guest to come on up here. She has no clue I'm gonna do this, but I'm using you on up here, Emily. Red Friday, all right, and I got on red. I promise. This is kind of pink, but this is red. Gets a little cold sometimes when you sit in office. So, oh, you know my game is legit. So it says Red Friday. We use it as an acronym here. Remember, everyone deployed, and that's especially good this weekend because there's some fathers out there right now that are deployed away from their kids, their wives, or families, protecting our freedom. So, you know, if you are one of those folks that served in our armed forces, give us an opportunity to celebrate you and stand while we give you a round of applause. Thank you so much. So another reason I called Emily up here, Emily and I, well, that was this week. You know, this has been a long week, hasn't it? Emily and I had an opportunity to do a little bit of traveling together. Well, you know, my flight got through, hers didn't. So she spent a good portion of the week hovering around the airport.
I think Dave stole my flight.
Well,
I forgive you.
We'll get into that later. But, you know, we spent a few days in San Antonio, Texas at the TCA Safety and Security Conference. It's an annual conference by this industry organization. But more importantly, one of the panel speakers was our very own Emily Plummer. Give her a round of applause. Now, I went into this situation knowing Emily, you know, and knowing she would do a fantastic job, but that's an understatement. I was absolutely floored at how good of a job that she did, you know, how well respected she is industry-wide. You know, industry experts, everybody are coming up to Emily, asking her for her input, you know, calling me Dave, but making sure they got her name right, Emily. You know, so tell us a little bit about your experience and a few takeaways from the conference.
Okay, well, I learned, y'all, it was so much information that I actually looked at Dave and Dennis and I said, you know what, I couldn't do what you do. It's a lot of information. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know by just being a driver. I learned a lot of things that companies are doing. For example, they're taking away PC. We aren't. I was interviewed, and in one of the interviews, the one thing they asked me is they're trying to work with shippers and receivers to see if they can get us to if they can start respecting us better, okay? Well, that kind of bothered me a little bit. So I sat there and I told the guy in the interview, I said, listen, we can sit here all day and we can talk to shippers and receivers. However, we need to talk to our drivers too. If we aren't going in with a positive attitude, how we dress, how we speak, how we treat them, we can't expect them to treat us any different. So, with that being said, they're going to work on their part, but we as a fleet, we have to work on our part too. Same thing with bathrooms. You can't expect them to respect us and give us bathrooms if we're urinating on their property, if we're throwing out trash on their property. I mean, guys, come on, we're grown, we're adults here. So, but yeah, they're gonna work with shippers and receivers, but we have to do our part as well.
So I know this isn't your favorite thing to get up here and speak, so I won't hold you too long.
I'm more nervous here than I am there.
I don't know why.
I'm shaking.
I see that, but it's cool. We good. We friends, you know. We it's all right. But
I gotta say something.
okay,
One last thing.
go ahead.
I can take my truck to Bay 21. You can put a camera in there today. I'll volunteer it.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Emily, for coming up, and thank you for representing us as well as you did. So,
And no, I didn't steal her flight, Dennis. I swear, it wasn't me.
you know, Dave, we're at the top of the hour, so that means we've come to an end. I think we've had a fantastic meeting. You know, happy holidays to each and every one of you. Thank you for what you do. Special shout out to those folks that are not able to join us at one of our terminals. I'm going to introduce our next speaker. You know him as our CEO and founder, Robert Lowe, but I'm going to introduce him as one of the very first folks testing some inward-facing technology in their vehicle. Good morning.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you I love it. Man, that thing is smart. You know, knows if your seatbelt ain't on right, if you touch your phone, you know, that thing's really smart. But we're looking at it, we're testing it, and we're, you know, likely gonna do some of it. So, you know, technology's moving on. The public, I mean, this is very compelling video, right? Very compelling. And it's absolutely the truth. You all see it out there on the highways. We got to be paying attention. And if we're not, you know, we need to correct it. So we're all about that. Good morning, everybody. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day. I mean, happy Father's Day to all of you. Even if you're a mother, you got a father. So happy Father's Day. Well, thank you very much. You know, business has been a little bit better. Anybody notice it's a little bit better? Yeah, it's not, I'm not saying it's off the charts. I'm not saying, you know, this freight recession is over. It certainly isn't. But I promise you this, on the other side, we're going to be better and stronger and more profitable for all our participants, all our family here. Everybody's going to do better on the other side of this because, you know, it takes out some of the bottom feeders. You know what I mean? Some of those folks that have cheap rates, they're not showing up because they got their truck repossessed or it's in the shop and they can't get it out. And then we're getting that load. And we've already mentioned the importance of getting that trailer on in there so we can pick off those loads. And we're picking off those loads. Guess what? We're picking them up at our rates, which are good, profitable, and fair rates to our customers and to you all. So, and that's very, very important to protect that. And you're doing it. You're making your contribution by picking these loads up on time, delivering them on time, you know, going through the sacrifices that you do, you know, to keep this country moving and to provide prime customers that excellent level of service. So I appreciate you. I want to take this opportunity to thank you. God bless each of you and be safe out there. Thank you.